What's up, everybody? My2Cents back. We're going to do a quick screen protector review and installation. This is the IQ Shield. This is for the Galaxy Note 8, and it is a case-friendly screen protector as well. So we'll go ahead and get this installed, and God, this box is impossible to open. There we go. We're going to go ahead and get this installed and do a quick review of it and see how it lasts for us. So let's see what we have in the box here. We have our spray. This is a wet install shield protector, so we do need our spray for that. We have the maximum coverage edge to edge. It does tell us there's a couple different versions. Case-friendly version 1, case-friendly version 2. The version 2 looks like it goes farther down the screen. We have a microfiber cloth, which is always nice to have with your phones and glasses. It's a pretty good quality one there as well. We have our rubber squeegee, and look inside our little packet here. We do have an installation video you can go check out at iqshield.com, and you can look and see how to install it there as well. It talks about doing it right before you go to bed. That way the bubbles will go away more. And it is a 2-pack, so we do have our 2 screen protectors. So let's go ahead and get started on this. What we need to do is get our phone. The first step that it wants us to do is to spray our microfiber cloth with some solution and rub it down. This is the cleaning portion of it. You want to make sure there's no debris on your phone, anything that might create a bubble or crease underneath it. Let's go ahead and get that removed here real fast. Alright, it's looking nice and shiny. Now we need to grab our screen protector, and there's a couple different things they want us to do. First, you got to make sure that you have the right side up. I mean, it's really not hard to figure that out because it only has cutouts on the top side. I want you to spray the back of the film protector now, so it does become easier to squeegee. Make sure your fingers are clean and damp with the solution. That way you don't leave any fingerprints at the top as you remove it. And one key thing about this is you don't want to pull extremely hard. You just want to peel it off. These do stretch pretty easy. And that'll leave kind of a wavy mark on them. So make sure that when you're removing it from the backing, you don't pull extremely hard. Now with that done, we're going to go ahead and spray solution on the back side. And you want to be liberal. I mean, with the Note 8, it's a water-resistant phone. Really, you can just spray the crap out of it. The more solution you have, the easier it moves around, but it does take longer to dry. I mean, you are going to squeegee it out, but the more squeegeeing you have to do. So looking at this, it may get a little sticky. You can peel it up at this point and apply more solution if necessary. We'll go ahead and put it back down. We can move it around. Make sure all the cutouts line up and get it as close to the edges as possible. And it is easy to line up its top portion up here, but you always want to make sure that the bottom is aligned into the center also. You can give it a kind of a quick squeegee and get a little bit of the liquid out and then kind of take a peek. Normally, if you have everything lined up properly at the top, the bottom should be aligned also. So I'm not pushing hard. I am just gently squeezing out the water. You want to make sure that this back side of it is wet, or else the screen protector will kind of pull and it'll give you wrinkles in it. We don't want to do that either. So just taking a look, it looks like there may be a piece of debris under here. If you can't press your squeegee against it and the bubble move, then it's quite possibly a piece of debris. At this point, you can make a decision. You can peel it up, and what you can do is try to remove it if your fingers are still wet. Put it down and just kind of check. That's one nice thing about these wetted here screen protectors. When you want to try to do that, you can spray it back down and then remove that liquid there as well. And it looks like it's going to be pretty tricky to get out of there. Just doesn't want to go, so we may have to leave it. That's also kind of the bad thing about wet protectors is you do have them flipped upside down and spraying them, so there is a little bit more possibility for debris to get onto the back side of it. So just going across it again, give it a little bit of time, come back and squeegee just a little bit more. Try to get as much of the liquid out as possible to make it dry faster, but don't squeegee it when the back side of it is dry. You can see that it looks like it's got a lot of bubbles in here. You can kind of use this to check and see where you need to put your squeegee down to get a little bit more residue out. The squeegee itself was still wet there also. Alright, now it's looking pretty wavy and it's looking pretty distorted, but this will clear up, I promise. So with it still being wet, we can try to do the sides here and see if they'll stick down. Mostly on these edge phones, you're not going to get this to stick for a little bit after you let the phone sit, after doing the initial middle squeegee. It looks like that's what we're going to have to do. It doesn't want to stick down to the edges. So we're going to set the phone down. We're going to have to give it another 15 minutes or so and come back and take a look at it. Alright, we're back here. It's been 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get these edges to adhere down. And just using my thumb to roll over, we can see that we're getting a lot more adhesion out of it. Doesn't look like it's going to be perfect, but maybe if we put a little force with the palm and work our way down the edges, we can get it to stick down. Now, you want to be careful not to kind of roll down just the side of it. It could cause it to kind of lift and warp, so we don't want to do that. Just press down the curve of the screen. Alright. That side looks like it's still coming up a little bit. You may have to let it sit for a little bit longer to get the full kind of adhesion there. The same thing on this side. We're kind of seeing the same effect here where once you let go of it, it does kind of want to pull up just a little bit, getting a little bit of the bubble effect down there. So we're going to go ahead and let this phone sit for just a little bit longer, another 5 minutes or so, and we should probably be good. You can see there's a couple bubbles where my thumb's at right there. Or if I let it sit for a little bit, the protector will pull itself back up. See the same thing on the opposite side. Just a little bit of liquid left under the screen. And instead of let it dry a little bit longer. So we'll go ahead and set it down and give it a little bit more time to do so. Alright, now coming back to it. Let's see if we can't get these edges to adhere. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Same thing on the opposite side. On this side it was a little bit drier. It didn't peel up as much. The edges are looking pretty good now. Looks like there may still be just a little bit of a bubble under there, so maybe just one more push down on them to try to get that out. But overall, I mean, the installation was not difficult. Just got a little bit of dust under there, which seems to happen with these wet installations for me, but it just be that I have a dusty environment. So here we have it. We let it sit for multiple days at this point. And I've got to say that it's okay. It's not the best protector I've ever had. It's, on a film protector, I'd say maybe a 7 out of 10. It does have a little bit of the orange peel effect, but not as much as you've seen on some of the older film protectors that are out there. You can see that it does still have the dust underneath it. It's not very noticeable when the screen is on. I would like to have it to be perfect. Now, we got a little bit of a distortion up here next to the camera. And what happened is, and this actually happened a couple times since I've been using this. It's probably been about a week since I've been using it, but having something slide up next to the phone and push on the screen, right on the edge, makes the protector lift, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, it should be adhered down a little bit. I mean, the edges do look good all around the phone, and they're not lifting at all. But right here, I basically had my MacBook, and I pushed it against the phone on accident when sitting on my couch. It wasn't even like a lot of friction against it, and it pushed the screen protector up. I had to push it back down. Same thing happened right here next to the Bixby button, where you can see this little distorted protector lifted when something pressed against it, which was kind of a... I've never had that happen with a film protector before. Now this apparently is version 1 of this film protector, although on the Amazon listing where I bought this, it didn't say anything about version 1, version 2. It does now when you go back and look at the comments. It does say that this is version 1. It's supposed to be made for apparently taller cases that go up more of the curve of the phone. But this one, you can see that the protector doesn't cover the screen all the way. It goes down just a little bit of the curve. So it makes me wonder if you had more of the protector down the curve of the phone, if you were to press something against it, like I was saying, like that MacBook, maybe that wouldn't happen. So just something to keep an eye on. Like I was saying, I mean, if you're looking for the closest thing you can get to glass protector without spending $50 on one of the glass protectors out there, I would say the Well glass fill protector that I've done a video on. And check that out. I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. That thing was awesome. It's like glass. There was no dirt underneath it when I installed it. It turned out phenomenal. So maybe you want to check that out. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.